Jim Carrey. Yes.
What?
I've covered a lot of fashion weeks. This is the first time I've run into Jim Carrey. Wait, tell me, is it true you're wandering the streets? You need a date to the party? What's up?
No. I'm doing just fine. I just, there's no meaning to any of this. So I wanted to find the most meaningless thing that I could come to and join, and here I am.
I mean, is it kind of scary releasing this out into the world and just being so vulnerable and having this side of yourself and this, No.
It's sad, but we've seen this before. Heath Ledger, Lindsay Lohan, Shia LaBeouf. In the history of film, many actors lost it. But why? Why is that? Fame, money, Hollywood success, and a breakdown?
Okay, hey, come on out here. Let's settle this the old-fashioned way. Come on! I may not be tough, but damn it, I can get good and mad.
Imagine being loved for playing a role, but never for who you really are. It must break something inside. And Jim Carrey seems just the latest example.
A few months ago, I woke up and I suddenly got it.
He thinks he's got it. What if it's true? What if he's not crazy at all?
So Jim,
Yes.
how would you start this movie?
You see, things usually happen for a reason. We are determined by our genetics, environment, by a lot of beliefs, and most of it develops in childhood. And let me tell you, Jim Carrey's childhood was so different, funny and sad at the same time.
You had a real messed up childhood.
I had an odd childhood. Yeah, it was a lot more messed up than I thought. Apparently, according to the team of doctors.
No, when I see your biography on TV and stuff, it was so. I mean, I was kidding about it before, but it does sound kind of sad. I mean, you grew up in a car.
I like that music. Keep it going.
Your dad. I was watching either some Jim Carrey biography or something, and it was like your dad was. Don't cry.
Yeah, the lip's already going. Right?
Dad couldn't hold a job. You and your whole family lived in a car and had to like be janitors together.
Yeah, but you know what? Through that
came the man you are today.
We had some tough times.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
His story begins long before Hollywood and all the fame. At age 12, Jim's father loses his job. The family ends up living in a van. And even then, there's someone making people laugh, but it's not Jim.
My father was not only the funniest man in the room, but he was a fantastic saxophone player. And before I was born, he had an orchestra in Toronto. But, in order to be something special, you had to leave Canada and come down to the States and prove yourself in the States. He was a little bit afraid of that transition, and also he had a family to take care of, so he became an accountant. And as time wore on, it wore him down, it wore him down, and he got a little bit bitter, especially when he lost his job when he was 51. That really broke him. Not only was he compromising to raise a family, but when you compromise and you fail, it really hurts. It hurts even more than failing at what you love. So that was an example for me.
And a lot of people don't know this, but when I was about 14 or 15, my father lost his job, and I actually became homeless for quite some time. Of course, I grew up in Canada, so I thought we had just gone camping,
I learned that you can fail at what you don't love, so you might as well do what you love. There's really no choice to be made. what you want to be, you know? It's like my old man didn't get to see everything, but he saw it happen, and it's happened for him as much as it did for me, you know? So that's why I get emotional. Everybody gets emotional when they talk about their dad, but he truly was a frigging amazing human being.
Nobody knows this, but Jim always said his father was even funnier than him. His dad chose safety, and still the family ended up in trouble. That's when little Jim makes himself a promise that he would not make the same mistake. So now we know about Jim Carrey's childhood. The struggle, the heartbreak. Makes sense, right? His past is haunting him. But no, this isn't the full story. Not even close.
This young man is a young impressionist from Toronto and a little bit different. And he's going to be starring in a new series for NBC this January called The Duck Factory. He's also been in Hollywood about 10 months and created quite a bit of excitement. This is his first appearance on American television. Would you welcome Jim Carrey? Jim?
Hello? Him!
Jim is growing up. He moves to Toronto. He starts doing stand-up at local clubs. Small crowds, cold nights. Sometimes they laugh, but sometimes they don't. But Jim keeps showing up. And little by little, people start noticing. But it's still not enough. He's still broke. He sleeps in a car. He questions everything. And in that silence, when nothing seems to work, that's when he writes a check. He writes himself a fake check of $10 million for acting services rendered. He keeps it in his wallet for years. A secret promise. And that moment isn't about money, it's about belief.
Can't believe this, Lloyd. First Mary dumps us, then the cops take our nest egg, then our hog breaks down.
Yeah! When are we ever gonna catch a break?
Hi, y'all. Hey, allihopa.
Hey, guys. We're going on a national bikini tour, and we're looking for 2 oil boys who can grease us up before each competition.
You are in luck. There's a town about 3 miles that way. I'm sure you'll find a couple guys there.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Hej då.
Do you realize what you've done? Hey! Lloyd! Lloyd! You'll have to excuse my friend. He's a little slow. The town is back that way.
Wow.
2 lucky guys are going to be driving around with those girls for the next couple of months.
Yeah. Don't worry, we'll catch our break too. Just gotta keep our eyes open.
Yeah. You're it.
You're it. You're it, Quincy's. You're it, Andy Quincy's double stamp.
What a crazy story. Years later, he gets that exact amount, $10 million, for playing the role in Dumb and Dumber. After his father dies, he places the original fake check in his father's casket at the funeral. Like a thank you, like a promise kept. So little Jim made it. He becomes a Hollywood star, famous, rich, admired. Everything he dreamed of. Film after film, hit after hit, it almost becomes boring. Until one film changes everything. Man on the Moon. Man on the Moon is so special because it's a film about Andy Kaufman, one of the most unpredictable, bizarre, and brilliant performers in comedy history. And he's also Jim Carrey's biggest idol.
Now, last but not to be the least, I would like to imitate the Elvis Presley. Could I have my things back? Thank you. All right, Elvis Presley.
Thank you very much.
Wait a minute. Something wrong with my lip.
My lips are 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get ready now. Go careful, but don't you step on my boots when you chew.
Thank you very much.
Andy Kaufman didn't perform to entertain, he performed to confuse, to provoke, to break reality itself. And Jim? He loves it. Jim didn't just want to play him, Jim wanted to become like him.
Hello, I am Andy.
I want to be the biggest star in the world. Your act is like amateur hour.
I'm not like everybody else.
I really like what you did out there.
I'm not a comedian. I don't want to go for cheap laughs.
You shark!
What's wrong with this guy?
They detest you.
That means we're a success.
40 million people are watching you every week.
Party time for Latka.
Some of us at Saturday Night Live think Andy Kaufman's a comic genius.
Thank you very much.
You just don't respect anything.
You said some pretty inflammatory things.
I'm sorry.
I've always got to be one step ahead of them.
This guy is so obnoxious.
It's good old-fashioned entertainment, George.
Is Andy Kaufman crazy?
I'm just acting crazy.
I'm gonna do it again and again and again and again and again and again and again. I'm a bad person.
You are a complicated person.
You don't know the real me.
There isn't a real you.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Andy Kaufman in the wrestling match. Yeah. Now, Andy, did you hear about this one? Tell me, are you locked in the punch? Andy, are you goofing on Elvis too, baby? Are we losing touch? If you believe they put a man on the moon,
From Milos Forman, Academy Award-winning director of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest and Amadeus.
You're insane.
But you might also be brilliant. Comes the story of the man, the myth, the misunderstanding.
So you just pretend to be an asshole.
That's what I'm good at.
This Christmas, Jim Carrey brings the legend to life.
I would like to take this entire audience out for milk and cookies. Follow me!
What's so special here? Jim always wanted to be like him, and now he's got the chance. That skill separates the local theater artists from Hollywood legends. They don't just play a character, they become it, they disappear. And Jim was brilliant at it. But in Man on the Moon, things got out of line, and it was all recorded on camera.
What happened after was out of my control.
Andy, that's enough. Perfect.
I don't like it. I want to do one more.
Andy felt it was necessary to stay in the character.
He's exactly the way Andy was.
It's totally surreal.
And this crazy melodrama started happening all over the place.
Andy, you have to give me a chance to make a movie. I don't need to make a movie. I don't need to make a movie.
I was thinking, how far should I take this?
Quiet, please. Sound check.
Sound check. It's working.
How far would Andy take it? When the movie was over, I couldn't remember who I was anymore. So you step through the door not knowing what's on the other side. And what's on the other side is everything. I know him as well as I can know him. But who do you know? Even when they're right in front of you.
Jim playing Andy wasn't just a role. It was real. Jim believed Andy took over his body. He spoke like Andy. He walked like Andy. He made demands as Andy. Even off-set for months. Friends and colleagues didn't know how to talk to Jim Carrey anymore. Some were worried, some were angry. It wasn't acting, it was true possession. And for once, this wasn't one of Jim's crazy jokes. It was real. So was it this moment that Jim Carrey got crazy? Or he lost it and he never came back? Maybe. But maybe also not.
This,
No,
exposed?
because
No.
there is no me, no self. Jim Carrey is gone, actually never existed, and I know that now. So I'm able to take gigantic chances with this thing that people know as Jim Carrey.
After Man on the Moon, things change. Jim slowly gets back to normal, but something inside shifts. Over the next few years, he keeps making films. The Grinch, Bruce Almighty, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. He's still brilliant, but different. Behind the scenes, he becomes more withdrawn. He starts turning down movie offers, even massive ones. He starts declining millions. He starts questioning everything: fame, ego, identity, reality itself. And suddenly, he starts painting.
What you do in life chooses you. You can choose not to do it. You can choose to try to do something safer. Your vocation chooses you. When I really started painting a lot, I had become so obsessed that there was nowhere to move in my home. Paintings were everywhere. They were becoming a part of the furniture. I was eating on them. I found myself looking around at one point in a really bleak winter in New York, and it was just so depressing, and I think I needed color.
It's getting kind of pedestrian to me now, the teal. You know what I'd like to do is just start threading in some purple, into these things. I'll find the ultimate color and I'll be able to reproduce it.
You can tell what I love by the color of the paintings. You can tell my inner life by the darkness in some of them, and
You can tell what I want from the brightness in some of them.
It's 5 a.m. So I'm making a little more progress now. It's really kind of cool what happens with these things, you know, because you really don't know what a sculpture or a painting totally means. You think you do. Most of the time I start out with a plan, and then, you know, like a year later, I'll realize that the painting was telling me what I needed to know about myself a year before.
I think what makes someone an artist is they make models of their inner life. They make something physically come into being that is inspired by their emotions or their needs or what they feel the audience needs.
I like the independence of it. I love the freedom of it. No one else tells you what you can or can't do most of the time. And there's an immediacy to it. Art has to be service, you know, it's like you're servicing your subconscious, and at the same time, you're doing something that someone's going to relate to, hopefully.
When I was a kid, I spent half my time in the living room performing for people. I spent the other half the time in my bedroom by myself, writing poetry and sketching. I was not the type of kid you could say, as a punishment, go to your room, because my room was heaven to me. My isolation was welcome.
People that are different have a shot at being original. You know, they got motivation too. You know, they got motivation.
I sketched all the time, but I didn't do a lot of painting. Suddenly, 6 years ago, at a time when I was trying to heal a broken heart, I decided, well, maybe I'll paint.
When your heart is in love, you're floating, weightless. But when you lose that love, you have to re-enter the atmosphere. And it can get pretty rough. You're just bouncing off one molecule and onto the next, ripping through them at such a pace that they just ignite and explode. Until you find another heart that's doing the same thing, has landed and cooled, and then you start to float again.
The energy that surrounds Jesus is electric. I don't know if Jesus is real. I don't know if he lived. I don't know what he means, but the paintings of Jesus are really my desire to convey Christ consciousness. I wanted you to have the feeling when you looked in his eyes that he was accepting of who you are. I wanted him to be able to stare at you and heal you from the painting. You can find every race in the face of Jesus. And I think that's how every race imagines Jesus. They imagine him as their own.
That's pretty. So funny, I get so stuck when I'm trying to choose colors, but when I just grab them, it's cool.
I don't know what painting teaches me. I know that it just frees me. Free from the future, free from the past, free from regret, free from worry. Something inside you is always telling a story. I believe every single thing that you see and hear is talking to you. You know, the bottom line with all of this, whether it's performance or it's art or it's sculpture, is love. We want to show ourselves and have that be accepted. I love being alive, and the art is the evidence of that.
suddenly Jim Carrey isn't Jim Carrey anymore. And then come the interviews.
I wanted to find the most meaningless thing that I could come to and join, and here I am.
They're
I
celebrating.
mean, you got to admit it's completely meaningless.
Well, they say they're celebrating icons inside.
Celebrating
Do you believe
icons,
in
boy, that is just the absolute lowest aiming, possibility that we could come up with. It's like icons. Do you believe in icons? I don't believe in personalities. I don't believe that you exist, but there is a wonderful fragrance in the air.
You don't believe certain icons have the power to make change, to think differently, to be bold, to inspire others? Artistry? You're one of them.
On the good foot. Ha! Yeah. You shut her down now. Yeah, no, I don't believe in icons. I don't believe in personalities. I believe that peace lies beyond personality, beyond invention and disguise, beyond the red S that you wear on your chest that makes bullets bounce off. I believe that it's deeper than that. I believe we're a field of energy dancing for itself. And I don't care.
But Jim, you got really dressed up for the occasion. You look good.
No, I
Was
didn't
that an
get dressed
accident?
up. I didn't get dressed up.
Who did?
There is no me.
There's no you.
No.
We're not here. This is a dream.
There's just things happening. And there are clusters of tetrahedrons moving around together.
Okay.
Yes.
So what's happening in our world right now? Because there is a lot of news that actually is relevant that's not that
Here's
uplifting.
the thing. It's not our world.
None
That's
of this
the
is
key.
real?
Nope.
So you're just passing
We don't
through.
matter. We don't matter.
Oh, wow.
There's the good news.
Okay.
A few months ago, after knowing Eckhart Tolle for a while and studying the books, I woke up and I suddenly got it. I understood suddenly how thought was just an illusory thing. And how thought is responsible for, if not all, most of the suffering we experience. And then I suddenly felt like I was looking at these thoughts from another perspective. And I wondered, who is it that's aware that I'm thinking? And suddenly I was thrown into this expansive, amazing feeling of freedom from myself, from my problems. I saw that I was bigger than what I do. I was bigger than my body. I was everything and everyone. I was no longer a fragment of the universe. I was the universe. And ever since that day, I've been trying to get back there. It comes and it goes. It's like riding a wave. Sometimes I'm on, sometimes I'm off. But at least I know where I want to go. And that I want to take as many people with me as I possibly can, because the feeling is amazing.
So, Jim Carrey's story sounds like a breakdown. But is it really? Now he doesn't have to be anyone. Not the funny guy, not the good guy, not even himself. He can just be. What if life doesn't break us to destroy us? What if it breaks us to reveal us? The real us. To strip away everything we're not, so we can remember who we really are. And maybe that's the real joke, that we spend our whole lives trying to become someone, when the truth is, we were never anyone to begin with.
Well, I'm retiring, but
No.
yeah, probably.
Are you being serious or are you screwing with me?
I'm being fairly serious. Yeah.
Really?
I feel like, and this is something you might never hear another celebrity say as long as time exists. I have enough. I've done enough. I am enough.
Now, what did Jim Carrey actually learn? Like, where did these insights come from? What if it was a crazy story? Watch this video to find out. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one. Bye.